Hey guys, it's Christian from the Training and Development Department. Today I'm going to teach you how to mold perfect custom insoles for your customers every single time. So now we're going to talk about sizing the custom insoles. So you would have already measured the customer's feet with the branded device. Once you figure out the size that you like, you're going to find the closest size insole that matches that size. So lay the insoles in front of your customer and have your customer step on the insoles. Okay, and you can step anywhere you like. I'll adjust your foot. So I want you to move your right heel back a little bit. Keep coming back, and now a little bit forward, and now center your foot a little bit more. Perfect. Okay, so you want about a thumb's width from the back. It's exactly where you want to be. Using your inside hand, find the bunion part of the foot, and now you're going to hold and place your thumb down on the insole and keep it there. Now I'm going to have you lift your foot straight up and take the insole away. Okay. Leave your thumb where it is, and now you're going to put another thumb next to it. Now the point of this is that we always want to have about a ½ inch from the front of the plate. Okay, if we don't have that, that plate will hit the metatarsal bones of the foot. That could either hurt the customer or be very uncomfortable, and this is something we never want. Now the front of this plate is tapered, so you do have a little give here, so know that if a little bit of that plate touches the metatarsal, you're okay. It's not going to hurt the customer at all because it gets nice and thin near the front. But always make sure that we're just looking at a little bit here. If your inside thumb is in the middle of this plate, that's going to be a problem. So as long as it's near the edge, we're okay every time. So that's how you size your customer's foot for the custom insole. Okay, so guys, now it's time to mold the custom insoles for your customer. Okay, we want a brief explanation of what they're about to do. I've seen people go on way too long with this. Sometimes it can take a few minutes to explain something they're about to do in just a few seconds. Keep it very simple. We want to save time and shoe dog, and we want to keep things efficient. So all you want to do is have them step up on the cushions, hold onto the bar at all times, and lift up one foot. I'm going to show you exactly how that looks. So Shelby, great news. It's time to mold your custom insoles. So all I'm going to have you do is step up on these cushions. You're going to hold on to the bar at all times. Lift up your right leg and bend it back just like a flamingo. Perfect. That's all you have to do. Okay, so when your customer is in the perfect position like she is now, it's time to start molding the insoles. So slowly slide it out of the oven. You want to place it down on the cushion. Very, very important here, guys. We have to place the heel perfectly. So I'm going to control your foot. Just relax. You want to lift up the foot and position it, and slowly start to bring it back a little bit more. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is get just about a thumb's width from the back, and bring your foot back a hair more if you can. Okay, that looks good. So this is exactly what we want from the back. That's it. Next thing we want to do is make sure that the foot is centered on the insole. Move your foot inside a hair. This way she's perfectly covering the insole. Okay, next thing we want to do is start to pull up the toes. Now you should have already asked your customer if it's okay to pull up on their toes to make sure there's no toe injuries. If you forgot, always make sure that you ask again before you pull back. Shelby, is it all right if I pull up on your toes?
Yeah.
All right, got the thumbs up. Now with your outside hand, you're gonna reach around to the front of the insole and you're gonna pull back. Now we want a nice firm pull, okay, on the insole here. Now, if you don't pull up enough, you're not going to get the arch high enough, so make sure that you do. She said it was okay. Once you have that, now Shelby, I'm going to have you keep equal weight on both legs and just sink right down into those cushions. Okay, so now that your customer is sinking into the cushions, we want to make sure that the positioning of her is perfect. So a couple of things we're looking for. Her back is straight. She's looking straight ahead. She's not looking over at her feet. Everything looks even with both of the feet. This is exactly what we want to see. If she's looking over the side and putting more weight on one side or the other, this could affect the mold. Okay, so now it's time for your customer to lean back. So make sure that you're asking her to lean back slowly. So Shelby, just start to lean back slowly while keeping your back straight at all times. Always glance up to make sure that your customer is following those directions. Okay, just to be on the safe side, guys, if you have an older customer, somebody who's very tall, somebody who's heavier, make sure to not have them lean back just for their safety. You can just have them stand straight for this part. Assuming that is not the case, just like the Shelby here, we're just going to have her lean back. We're going to hold this for 12 seconds. Make sure that you're always pulling straight back when you pull on the toes. Very important here, guys. always make sure that your hand is pulling straight back. You're not pulling to the outside or the inside. If you do that, you can either pronate or supinate the insole, so make sure that you are always pulling straight back at all times. Keep the same amount of pressure that you've had the entire time. Okay, after that, it is time to have Shelby stand straight just like she did at the beginning. So you can stand straight up, perfect. Again, glance up, make sure the back is straight, eyes are looking forward, feet are looking good. We're gonna hold this for another 12 seconds. Okay, so after your customer has stood straight up and down for 12 seconds, it's time to lift up the foot. So, Shelby, lift up your foot for me and just bring it straight back to me. Okay, so when you look at the insole, you can see it's nice up in the arch there. Everything looks great. You're gonna take it straight off. Never ever push up the insole into the arch. At that point, all we can do is supinate the insole. So now we wanna look at it to make sure that the heel is straight. If you look at this on the counter, you can see it's leaning a little bit to the outside, a slight supination there. Here's how you fix that. 2 points, thumb on the bottom, thumb on the heel, and just bring that back in a little bit. That's all you gotta do. Okay, now you look at it, it looks straight. That's all you need to do. Simple adjustment will make the insole fit perfectly for your customer. Make sure that you make that adjustment. Never leave a supinated or pronated insole. That could affect the fit of the shoe and can hurt the customer. Okay guys, so now I'm going to show you what it looks like to mold insoles for your customer from beginning to end. Great news, Shelby. It's time to mold your insoles.
Oh, cool.
So what we're going to do is have you step up in these cushions and just hold on to the bar at all times. Okay, you're going to lift up your left foot, bend your left leg back just like a flamingo. Perfect. I'll come around with your insole. All right, so you can relax your foot. I'm going to control it and position it on the insole. Slide your heel back a little bit more for me. A little bit more, keep coming. A little bit more. Excellent. Now, just like I asked you before, it is okay to pull up on your toes, right?
Yes.
Excellent. So we're going to pull up now. Now I want you to keep equal weight on both legs and just sink right down into the cushions, just like that. Okay, now I want you to slowly lean straight back so your weight's on your heels, but keep your back straight in the process. That's perfect, just like that. Okay, now I want you to stand straight up and down just like you did before. Just keep looking straight ahead and keeping your back straight. All right, now I want you to lift up your left foot and bring it back to me. Excellent. So Shelby, this is your left foot in a perfectly balanced position.
Oh wow.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
And a nice high arch there. We're just gonna check it and make sure everything's perfect. Quick adjustment. Make sure that heel is exactly the way you want to see it. Perfect. All right, time to do the next one.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, very important when you're molding insoles for your customer, we need to have the right positioning. If you're too far on the side here, you're not going to get a good mold, okay? And if you're completely behind, it's going to be hard for you to see if the foot is pointed outside or inside, or if the foot is supinating or not. So where you want to be is pretty much directly behind into an angle so that you can easily see exactly what's going on with your customer's heel and foot, and you can make sure that everything is nice and straight. The other thing is, some people like to use their inside hand, the one that is not pulling, and put it around the ankle, okay? And this is not a good idea, because if you do that, I can't see if your foot is supinating in or supinating out or pronating in. Okay, so if you want to use your inside hand for leverage, you could hold on to the calf to guide her going back and forth, or you can leave it right here on the stand like I do, whichever works best for your leverage, but make sure that you're not covering the Achilles or the ankle at any point. Okay, so here's another scenario you might come across. Some customers have a natural outstep on both sides of their feet. A lot of older customers will do this as well. Now, if your customer's natural stance is to keep their foot out, ask them if it's okay if you can bring the foot inside a little bit. So have them take some weight off their foot and then just start to shift it in. You're probably not going to be able to get this exactly straight, but if you can bring it in just a few degrees, that'll definitely help the mold. that'll be fine. Just make sure that you're always pulling straight back with your hand and you're molding the same way that you normally would. Okay, so guys, this is going to be the new design for our standard custom insole. We're calling that the cushion. Okay, there's a couple of lines here. Okay, you're going to see two thin lines, and really what this is doing now is helping us know exactly where to place the heel. So the point of this is we have a line in the front, a line in the back. We want to make sure that the heel is placed not further ahead than that front line and not further back than the other line. So right in the middle would be perfect. Again, that'll give you the thumbs width that we talked about earlier. This is just an easier way, so you don't have to think about it. You can just place the foot right down to make sure it's perfect. Okay guys, so now that you've molded a perfect custom insole for your customer, it's time to be able to trim it properly for your customer shoe. So this is how we do this. You're going to take out the original sock liner out of the shoe and place it on top of the insole. Okay, right on top of it, and then you're going to slide so that the heel cups match. The heel cup on the sock liner will stop on the back of the insole, so you know you're in the right spot. Now you want to make sure that the sock liner is not in the middle, not in the outside, but perfectly lined up with the inside. Okay, so before you trace it, make sure that the heel cups are lined up and the insole of the sock liner is lined up with the inside of the insole. Next, using your pen here, you just want to trace exactly where the sock liner is on the insole. I like to do this just a couple of times, make sure that the pen line is nice and dark so I can see it. Once you have that, take the sock liner off. Okay, now you can clearly see the line that you want to cut off of this insole. Okay, once you have your line there, you're going to trim this right off. One thing I recommend is when trimming the insoles, move the insole around with the scissors to keep it smooth. I'll show you what I mean by that. So with your left hand, you are constantly turning the insole. And then just keep moving it right around. Okay guys, so after you've trimmed your insole, you may notice that the sock liner wasn't as wide as a custom insole, so you might see some little extra insole hanging off the side here. Just smooth that out. You can use your scissors and just cut that off so it looks nice and smooth across. This way it looks just like the insole should look. Okay, so after you mold every insole for your customer, you're going to let them know that this is their foot in a perfectly balanced position. After you finish with the second insole, we want to make sure that our customer understands that these insoles are for purchase. This is exactly how we want this to sound. Okay, so Natalie, here's your left foot in a perfectly balanced position. If you decide to purchase these, great. I really think you're going to love them. I also think they may help you out with your right IT band. So definitely try them out today and tell us what you think.